As we walk the walk of life, why do we avoid daring paths, fearing the steepness of the trek, scared of this and that? We walk the safe route, as unassuming as it may be, to remain in the place where we were in before, no challenges nor sight to see. If we want to settle, for the journey comes to a close, it is time. Time to look back and reminisce about the journey and its rhymes. But if we stay upon the land of which we are yet to leave, not even dare to peek beyond the naive, why do we fear the journey's call to heave? Why do we feel stuck? Why do we feel a giant rock? That we shall discuss in this episode of Think Out Loud. Good day everyone, welcome to another episode of Think Out Loud, Minds in the Mic, where we talk about life, school, and whatever thoughts come to mind, providing a platform for your ideas. I'm your host, your speaker, your friend, Mark Rebollido. With that out of the way, let's get right into the topic. So before everything else, I would like to inform you that the past months have been really busy. I've just graduated and it's really fascinating to me to see all of my friends sitting there having to reminisce about what happened not just this year but what happened in the past years and remembering the events, the things that happened. And I'm just really grateful to be a part of their lives and for them to be a part of my life. I'm just grateful to see them prosper. That's what I've been busy about, so that's why I haven't really uploaded. There's a lot of things that are happening and schedules are really tight, but I'm back, I'm here now, and let's keep this ball rolling, shall we? So, speaking of schooling, I remember a story where I was asked to speak in front to address my friends because of a program that we had, and I had to address just students. I just had to say thank you on behalf of the people I was with. Though I like speaking, though I studied and prepared for the speech, I'm still afraid. I'm still cautious about it. I still have my woes when it comes to speaking in front. So I remember being called to address without an actual script. I was afraid, but a thought came to mind. And I said to myself, why not? Why don't I speak in front? I'm not gonna lose anything. It's not like I'm skydiving where if I fail, it's an end all be all. I was just supposed to talk in front of people. There's not really a big problem there. So what's holding me back? Because of that thought, I was more eager to speak in front. I went up and addressed the students. First, asked them to applaud for the organizers, and then I reflected on what happened. I may have stumbled on a couple of words or more, but I tried to represent the students to the best of my abilities and speak from the heart. And afterwards, though I stuttered, obviously, no one laughed. No one said anything because I wasn't displaying awkwardness. I was displaying thankfulness. Like right now, I may have been stuttering while recording this, but I'm not really ashamed of it. More so understanding that that's the human experience. That thought lingered inside my head for this past few weeks, and I thought, fear, concern, worry, those are the things that hold us back most of the time. Though they can be a good tool, they can be great tools for planning, for being able to make logical conclusions, and all of those stuff. I just realized that fear is a hindering factor. This topic is ingrained in research, though it is more applicable to talk about this in emotional, in experiential terms. Because we understand that fear is a strong emotion. It's been the driving force for a lot of human action in the history of this world. So what do I mean by fear as hindering factor? One of it is the fear of missing out. We've heard this term before. I believe I heard it in the early 2010s, maybe even in the 2000s. The fear of missing out, or FOMO, is when we try to keep up with current trends in society. That's why we have fast fashion. That's why Apple has achieved its goal of having a new model each year and people keep buying them because we're afraid to miss out. We're afraid that we will not be able to keep up and we will be chastised, we will be left behind, we will be no longer in the social bubble of the general society. So what do? We keep up, we spend money, or we change who we are based on the current mood. Then we go from that to another trend, to another trend, to another trend. The problem with that is that we never show our true selves. I had my fair share of doing things just because I am afraid to miss out.
And that's not healthy.
The fear of missing out, the fear of not having or not doing the same things as others hinders us from being ourselves. Because sometimes we are weird. Not just sometimes, often we are weird. We have our own quirks, we have our own oddities in our lives that normal society won't accept. And it's not because it's generally frowned upon, but it's because it's not typical. It is not within the social norm. We often get bullied for it. Even the simple things, even when liking a specific food group, when you're saying that you don't like chocolate, when you're saying that you'd prefer wearing more vibrant colors than the simple modernistic designs of some fashion, those things will hinder us because we're afraid to miss out on the current trends. And the companies can exploit that. They can make us feel inadequate if we miss out. Then we have peer pressure. Peer pressure, similar to FOMO, and some parts dissimilar. Peer pressure is when our friend group, when the people around us are asking us to do a specific thing, indirectly or directly, when they're doing something we want to follow, or they're asking us to be someone, when they're asking us to do a dare because we're such a weakling, something like that. That's peer pressure. And instead of studying because you want to study, you get pressured by peers who, if they're not well intended, are just using us to further their agendas, further what they want. So we get changed, we get our emotions controlled. It's because we are afraid of losing them, and we are afraid of being called names. We're not being ourselves. And then we're also afraid of what authorities might do to us. We're afraid of being made fun of, blasted on social media. So we're afraid to just simply ask for our boss, asking for our teachers to change because we're afraid of getting berated. We don't speak up. And speaking up doesn't mean chaos. It can even be just going to their office and asking repeatedly again and again. Instead of getting what we deserve, we let it be. We silently quit instead of asking. We allow government officials and other lower or higher authorities to take advantage of us. Like what Machiavelli said, it is better to be feared than loved if one cannot be both. It's because he understood that fear is a stronger emotion, stronger controlling factor to humans. So when we don't speak in front, it's because we're afraid of being made fun of. But why? Why are we afraid? Instead of speaking our minds, then having a platform to communicate to everyone our woes or our reflections and happiness that might even help them, we shy away because we are afraid of being chastised. Everyone dreads punishment. Everyone is afraid of being called this and that and losing friends. But we can change that because fear doesn't mean reality. As what happened to me when I spoke in front, no one laughed because I wasn't displaying fear. There's this saying that I really enjoy. I forgot who it was from. I'll write it down in the screen or in the description. Speaking was 55% non-verbal, 38% intonation, and 7% words. That means that whatever you say is irrelevant when you're not displaying the right emotions. If I'm displaying awkwardness, if I'm displaying fear in front of these people, then they would feel the same thing. But if I'm just jiving, grooving, then there will be jiving and grooving as well. But how do we change that? How do we change that habit? It's by taking risks. It's by doing daring things within the bounds of the law. Maybe not do anything scary like cliff diving in your first try or skydiving in your first try. Maybe just trying to walk up to someone, strike up a conversation, speak in front of people. Because we need to build that confidence in what we say. Fear is natural to us. Fear keeps us safe. As we can see from Inside Out, the movie, fear's only purpose is to protect us. But often fear does more than control us. Through learned fear, conditioning, and the relentless teasing, we are limited. We fear failure because we fear that we will be reprimanded, made fun of. But if those don't happen, what if you were more? You become more. I was afraid of being in front of people, but I overcame it. You can too. And I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed this podcast episode. I definitely enjoyed it. There's a lot of reflection. If you enjoyed it, you can subscribe. That's all. Thank you for listening. This is Mark Rebollido signing off.